What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's actually funny because every Wednesday the mailman has to come during the stream, but he actually came like 60 seconds ago and dropped off a bag that had a bunch of other goodies in it. I ordered a bunch of stuff off of AliExpress for the Engravinator, which is a open source laser engraver, and it seems like they took all the stuff from AliExpress and put them inside of one bag. And so when I came home yesterday, there was a huge bag by the front door, and I opened it up and it was like Christmas going through everything. So the good news is that I would say 90% of the parts needed to build that are here. That's probably the 8% out of the 10% that's missing. This looks like most of the screws and bolts needed. So I think the only thing I'm missing now is the smooth rods. So hopefully that'll come in the next week or so here, and then we can schedule that. The next week's stream is probably going to be the unboxing of the Ender 3 S1, which I'm really excited about. And then I did announce this, I announced it in the Patreon channel of Discord, but I am gonna be building the LDO switch wire, which I'm super excited about. It is like the bed slinger version of the Voron. It's a Core XZ? YZ? It uses a belted system for the Z-axis, so I'm really excited to build that. It's a bigger format printer. It'll be a ton of fun. I still need to print out all the parts. I know Lisa had mentioned when I was building the Prusa MK3S Plus that she was interested in seeing kind of those compared, so I'm really excited to do that. Updates from last week's stream, because last week's stream was a bit of a cluster for two reasons. One, if you missed it, we were attempting to install OctoKlipper onto the FL-Sun SR. The stream was probably 2 hours long and the internet cut out, and we didn't make a whole lot of progress during the stream, unfortunately. Let me, one second. The audio or the music is a little too loud for me right now. We didn't make a whole lot of progress in, okay, Core XC, sweet. Thank you, DC. Hi, DC, hi, Lisa, hi, Aggie. Hi, Carl. So we didn't make a whole lot of progress in the stream, and then afterwards, I actually spent close to 6 hours trying to get OctoKlipper running, and felt like I was making some progress, and then it was like taking 5 steps backwards. And so then I tried to install Mainsail, and it instantly worked. So I was like, all right, I'm just running Mainsail, we'll revisit this. But I then went with a clear head the next day, and I was actually able to get OctoKlipper installed fairly easily. The main issue was twofold. One, the FL-Sun SR actually has 2 different controller boards, apparently. They use a SKR2 clone, as well as a, I think it's the M3 Nano board. And so, unfortunately, it seems the most common one might be the M3 Nano, but mine had the SKR. So the first issue was that the compiling we were doing was not for the correct board type, so it clearly wouldn't have worked. That I was able to get figured out after the stream ended, once I cracked it open and looked at the MCU. The second issue was that the instructions on installing OctoKlipper on the actual Klipper website are outdated. There are a few other commands that need to be ran, and once I discovered that, then the problems were, nearly gone. I did some digging because I mentioned that the main reason why I was interested in installing OctoKlipper was for the plugins, the ability to use OctoFarm to manage all the machines, and I actually hopped into Mainsail's Discord this last week and talked to the devs, and I hopped into OctoFarm's Discord and talked to the main dev there, and so Klipper support is coming to OctoFarm. They didn't have an ETA, they're working on some more of the stability with it, but it's nice to know that they're definitely, the main dev is interested in that. And also, Mainsail is releasing a version 2.1 soon that actually has the ability to remove, like let's say you're printing a batch and a part fails, well, the ability to remove that failed part is one of the plugins I was interested in. They've got some time-lapse functionality that I think it's already in there, but they're working on that even more. They've got a bed visualizer element of it that I need to explore a bit more. So a lot of the things that I wanted out of OctoKlipper are actually coming into Mainsail, and people have said this, and I sort of knew this, but my experience with OctoKlipper as of now is that it's definitely more clunky. And you can tell it's certainly an afterthought of, you know, it can do this and this thing versus mainsail, or I haven't used fluid, but, you know, being specifically for Klipper. So I'm still going to be making a video on the main channel just showing, because I think that there will be people interested and it's just good to know. But I have less of a desire to run OctoKlipper on my personal machines after sort of discovering and exploring all those things. So I wanted to update everyone. Let's see. Hey, CNC, he says, did you see the OctoPrint no longer requires a wiring change in order to get the filament runout working? I didn't see that. Is that, how recent is that? So for today, contacts are in for one reason and one reason only. That way I can wear these guys when we actually do some lasering. This is the Ortur. Ortur is the parent company, but they advertise it as Afero, the Laser 2, which is a bigger version of their Afero 1. It actually looks really similar to the Laser Master 2 Pro that I have, with one of the main differences being that this just doesn't have end stops, which is a little unfortunate. It just means that the way you set your work material or your origin needs to be done. Basically, when you turn the machine on, that's your origin, or you can set it manually. I did want to point out though, because the oh wow, yesterday, that's really cool. No, I haven't heard that yet. I will have to look into the update of OctoPrint then. I did want to quickly show this machine because the manufacturer provided me with a pretty cool discount, and it's good for a few weeks. I don't want to pressure anyone into buying this thing. If you don't need a laser cutter, don't. But if you're on the fence, the discount is pretty awesome. So let me see here. If I go to desktop, does that work? Cool. So I had to log out of my Amazon because when I tried to do this, it was showing my address, my full address, and I didn't want that. But basically, the machine right now, there's a few options, right? So there's one that's $349, then $499, and $499. And the main difference between these two is that this, I believe, is a 1.5 watt laser, and these two are 5.5, with the LF standing for long focus and short focus, which is relative to the focal length. But just so everyone knows, there's a 15% off coupon code on the Amazon page, and it seems like to me the manufacturer provided me with a, oops, that's two there. The manufacturer did provide me with a coupon code that's right here that supposedly takes 35% off on top of that 15%. So I was able to confirm the 35% definitely works. I didn't try stacking because the laser, or the video was going live, and again, I have to be logged in and I didn't want to show my whole mailing address to everybody. But 50% off seems like a really good deal if this is something you're interested in. I did do a bit of digging too in the 3 different laser types, and it's pretty obvious that a 1.5 versus a 5.5, that the 5.5 is going to be able to engrave much quicker, deeper, and if you are cutting, although typically diode lasers, their strength usually isn't in cutting, but if you did want to cut, you would certainly want to go with the 5.5. And the main difference between the long and the short, I was able to find a diagram that kind of broke it up. So the long focus has a, like, it's better for cutting basically. So if you look here, for cutting like a 1.6 millimeter ply, the rating is 400 millimeters a minute versus 300 millimeters a minute. The trade-off to that is if I go to, what is it? I had this all pulled up for you guys. Okay. The trade-off to being able to cut better is that the spot size of the laser is actually bigger. So this is the short focus, which has a 0.12 by 0.15 millimeter, I guess the diode spot size of the laser, while the one that can cut quicker has a 0.17 by 0.25. So it's kind of funny because I feel like they screwed up their pictures. Like, this should be the engraving one over here and the cutting one should be over here, but that's the key difference. If you're planning on using it more for cutting, honestly, I'd recommend a CO2 laser, but if you are getting a diode laser, the long focus will be able to cut a bit quicker, while the short focus won't be able to cut as quick, but you will have a smaller size, which should mean higher detail for engraving. So those are, yeah, pretty much the main things I just wanted to at least run through with you guys. Let me pull everything over here. How's everybody's week going? Lisa, how is your, drop that. how has your printing been going? I saw that you posted some of the, I think, ABS parts, right, for the FiSec Bear that you're printing. Let's see, what did I miss? It was apparently an OctoPrint back in October. Oh, interesting. I'm removing a print from my resin printer, so if not, in chat, that's why. Good luck, Aggie. Wear gloves. What have you been doing with yours, Carl? Primarily engraving, right? More so? Asker says, not a fan of laser cutters and engravers. I'm afraid to get blind by accident. Yeah, I will say that, for example, this is an open form factor laser cutter, and you definitely want to take the correct safety precautions. Like, let me go ahead and do an overhead cam. So I do like that as a bare minimum. Let's throw the foam on the ground. The laser engravers now are coming with this sort of shield on them. So they basically have a shield, but it's almost like, it's better than nothing, don't get me wrong, but there's always one side on there where it doesn't have the shield, the back side, so you can still see the laser from that section. And I think that you should still rock glasses if you're using something like this, unless you're going to be fully enclosing it. And they do have an enclosure option for at least the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro, which is the other one I have, but it's pretty expensive. Like, I think the laser itself was like $550 roughly, and the enclosure is like $350 or $400. So it might be better to build yourself something out of like MDF. And that's part of the reason why I'm building the Engravinator, which is the open source diode laser that I've talked about. It's much smaller. I mean, the build volume not build volume, 3D printing. The work area is much smaller, but it's fully enclosed on the sides. It's got a carbon filter. So I'm going to be primarily using that one for the majority of the small projects that I can. But yeah, I can certainly understand your concerns, you know. Let's see. Hide laser, that's a perfect example of what a swappable plate system is for. Thank you, I do wear them, nice. I have 2 printed nicely and getting excited, awesome. I don't know if I told you guys, I know that I mentioned previously that the Prusa Mark III S Plus had a bearing that went bad on it very quickly, which is super unfortunate, like 20 hours in. But Prusa support has been the best support I've ever gotten for a 3D printer. It's via chat, but they are, and the cool thing is, again, I mentioned this before, but like, I bought this not as a person that creates videos. It doesn't say ModBot, it has my name, there's no ties to it. So this should be the exact same experience everyone gets, but basically, I messaged them at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning because I was awake working on stuff like I do. They said, yeah, it looks like a bearing. We'll send you out smooth rods and bearings just to be sure. And I had that stuff, it was shipped Monday, it was at my door on Wednesday, and I had the machine up and running after about an hour and a half. So the Prusa MK3S Plus is up and running. Next week's video, not this Saturday, but the following, will be on printing with PETG, and I'm gonna be using that printer as the example because I'm doing a pretty big project on it. But yeah, I'm super happy it's back up and running, and their support has been absolutely amazing. Hey, what's up, World of 3D? Let's see, I made some boxes this week and some jigsaws today, nice. Oh, so actually cutting out boxes? Are you using one of the, there's a couple cool online box generators that you just basically input the size you want, it'll create sort of the dovetail for you. MDF releases toxic fumes when a laser hits it, so I wouldn't recommend MDF, a hardwood would be better. Gotcha. I was thinking more for the side panels because it's cheaper than, acrylic, because acrylic is pretty pricey. Focus released their laser last week. I did see that. Do you know anyone? I think Jerry might have one. Do you know anybody that's used it yet? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get this out of the box. I'll do the overhead view for now. But we've got the laser. This is the 5.5 watt short focus. So this is going to be the one that is better for engraving, which is perfect because this is not, I don't really do much cutting. I really can't do cutting in here. The smoke is too insane. Like right now, this is the current fume extractor I have, and it does a pretty good job. It's actually a soldering iron 3-stage filter, and it does a pretty good job of getting most of the smoke when I'm doing a quick engraving, but for cutting, I need to be in a garage, really. So we've got our manual. It's using kind of standard 2020 aluminum extrusions with, it's got etched in etched in measurements. That way you can kind of position your material. Although I think that it's much easier to sort of engrave a grid pattern if you have a material or if you have this bolted to a surface. That way you can really align things. We're gonna get the box out of the way pretty quickly here. So we've got those. We have got the our x-axis, which basically just has the back plate, which is, I mean, really a fairly simple design. It just has sort of a dovetail system. It's kind of what most of the diode laser engravers are using. We've got our cable and our grounding wire for the actual head. Oh, cool. I thought they gave me a European power supply. We've got our power supply. Lisa got a, it doesn't look like the bot is working. If anybody sees the Stream Elements bot posting Discord chat, let me know. I can't remember if I did 30 minutes or 15-minute interval. Lisa, did you get your laser engraver set up? Because I know you said you got the one that was recommended by Tripod's Garage. And I think you said you were keeping it at a friend's house or the garage. All right, we got another curved extrusion. We've got our another curved extrusion with the, I almost said LCD screen, but no, this is the actual controller. It's a really narrow controller. But I guess there's not nearly as much stuff that needs to get hooked up compared to a 3D printer. Okay, cool. I think that's everything, so not too bad. We'll see how the instructions are because when I built the other laser engraver, let's see. When I built the other laser engraver, the instructions were not very good. I ended up using their website. The instructions were just much more detailed. Let's take everything out of the wrap. Hey, Thomas is here. How's it going? What PLA filament do you prefer? So I've used a lot of PLAs, and I will argue that even low-cost PLAs, like if you're just printing whatever, oh, these belts are pretty loose, but they have, that's kind of cool. If you guys can see that, I can do the better camera. Actually, let's do the better camera. So there is little built-in belt tensioners. I don't think the Laser Master had that, but these laser, I mean, this is a pretty loose belt. I'm definitely gonna do a little bit of tightening before. Yeah, so most of the low-cost PLA that I've used nowadays is pretty decent, but as of right now, my favorite filaments are Printed Solids, Jessie, if you're, Jessie series, if you're in the United States. The stuff's just awesome. It's affordable, it's made in the United States, and it's printed great. I've primarily been using their PETG, but I have used a little of their PLA. I also am a huge fan of Polylite. Their Polyterra stuff is absolutely awesome. And I do have some Fusion filament. It's actually a filament that was recommended to me by DC that I'm going to be using. It's actually their ABS though, so nope. I have not used their PLA. So yeah, I'd say my favorite ones are probably Polyterra and the Jessie line. They're just relatively affordable and good quality with a big selection of colors. So let's see. You could create an adapter, attach 1/2 inch plastic pipe and attach one end opening. Wait, you could create an adapter to attach a 1/2 inch plastic pipe to it. Attach one end to the opening on the laser. Oh, do you mean to block, like, to block the view of the laser, sort of? To like create more of a shield for not looking at it? I just had a scare. I hadn't heard if it was sent. They said they never got order. They finally found the order and it okay, cool. So it's, at least they got it squared away. Doing great, busy week though. Good busy or not good busy? Because busy can be good. I love being busy, but busy could also mean things aren't going all that great. I've heard good things about Sunlu. I mean, again, like I've used a lot of them. Like I actually have, I might have used Sunlu, but if I did use Sunlu, it was like another company that white labeled it. Let's leave all this in here for now. I've used eSun. I've been pretty happy with their stuff. But yeah, Polylite has just been incredibly consistent to me. And then, you know, for a US made filament, I think it's hard to beat the price point of the Jessie line of material. Oh, to your fume extractor. Gotcha. You can create an adapter to attach one another opening. Yes, I think that would be way more effective than this because since it's moving around, it's hard for me. Like, it's okay for a small thing where the the head's kind of staying within a few inches. But yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a better solution. I just popped the top off. There's definitely a better solution than this kind of how I have it. All right, I've had a coffee and a Red Bull, so I've got no excuses. Let's get the instructions. Yeah, I would say I would get a spool of Polyterra, man, just to try it out. I think it's awesome stuff. It's pretty inexpensive. They use cardboard spools, which also Printed Solid is transitioning all their spools to cardboard. So my last order was like half cardboard, half not. But it's nice to see. I personally don't mind the cardboard spools at all. They're pretty good now. Like they've got them. Oh yes, the bot worked. I was trying to free up G-Funny from not having to constantly post to Discord. So now that the bot is working, I'm going to, if we start to notice a pattern, because we've had bots in every stream posting like the same link, if we notice a pattern, I'm going to just blacklist that specific link to hopefully catch a lot of those bots. And then maybe we'll use some additional commands, but I'm happy to see that the bot is working. That was one of my goals for this last week. It's good busy, just don't get around to doing everything I'd have wanted. I can so relate to that, man. I had actually 4 days off from work, which is unheard of. It was like Sunday is my normal day off. Monday was a holiday here in the States that they gave us off. Tuesday, we did wedding things, and that took most of the day, and then I have today, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I'll have so much time to get things done, but I actually feel more behind than I have in a while. Okay, so is there English in here? Is it, that's definitely not English. That's not English. Does it say the language? It's kind of interesting. Usually English is one of the ends. Is there not English at all? You know what? It actually doesn't look like the instructions are even in here. So let's see. Let me see here. When did you order yours, Carl? Was it on Black Friday? All right, so let me see here. Do they have contact download? Okay, so they have a download the software, download the user manual, download the application. The link to download an e-copy user manual, the link to the focusing manual. Great, so they only have a YouTube video? Who wants that? Just kidding. All right, well, I guess I'll have a YouTube video running while I do this. That's kind of odd to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I typically prefer a YouTube video guide over a written guide, just generally speaking. It's easier for me, like visually, to watch someone do it versus a static image. But let's see, download this. Oh wait, no, assembly guide, PDF. Nope, that's the wrong laser. One second, guys. Specifications, comparison. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see. It's so weird. Let me pull up my phone. I don't have I wish I had the iPad charged. The link to. Oh, okay, cool. Nope, on the back of it, it's in English. I just need to open my eyes. Okay, so it is Ortur. So yeah, it is Ortur, definitely. They're the parent company. Ortur.tech/AUFERO Laser 2 /. Okay, description, documentation, assembly manual. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys back over here. Unless you want to see the guide, but I don't know that it's fully necessary. The guide is taking its sweet time to load. I mean, I could try to just assemble it based off of, let me see, is there assembly manual, videos? Okay, there is a video. I'm just gonna put the video on and put you guys, trying to figure this out here. Let's see, can I mute the audio? Okay, so we can try this. So basically it looks like, how do you guys want the view for now? Overhead maybe? Yeah, this probably works. Oh, I also did want to state that I did want to state, 1 second. Oh, thank you, World of 3D. I appreciate that. Just ordered some more spools. Cardboard has been great. Yeah, I love the cardboard. I know somebody posted online that the cardboard was leaving little bits of cardboard on the spool, or on their like spool holder, and there was concerns that that could cause some form of debris to get inside of your hot end. So I think that the solution might be that some spool holders just need to have like a slipperier material, like the Prusa one that sort of has that jaggedy feel to it. I can see how the cardboard rubbing on it over time could sort of degrade it. So that's the only downside I can think of, but the upside seems substantially higher than the downside. So let me see here. I think that this is correct. Does it say? I think these are mirrors of each other. No, they're not. They're not mirrors. But this has to be correct. 1 sec. Oh, cool. The manual loaded. All right. I'm just gonna go do the manual route so that way. Okay, the manual is not very good. Fun stuff. Okay. What are we going to do? Luckily, I mean, the assembly isn't that complicated looking. This has to be the way it goes, right? Let's just try it. There's not that many parts, so worst comes to worst, I could always unscrew it. Let's see. Oh no! Everything's falling. Okay, I think these might be spares anyway. Let's put I'll put them right here in the middle. Let's see, if you want a black one, you need to be fast, as there are only 2 in stock, but for the rest, no need to hurry, and everything should be restocked in 2X plus new colors and new sock models. Nice. Yes, I have terrible eyes, Eggy. I'm wearing contacts, so when I was younger, I hated glasses. I don't know, thought I was too cool for glasses, and so in like 9th grade, I got contacts, and I wore contacts for the next decade, probably. And then once I realized that glasses are rad, and I'm also a nerd and I should just embrace that, I started wearing glasses a lot more. But with the mask mandates, I'm not crazy about the glasses because they get really fogged up. And so I have been, I don't have contacts, I haven't had them in years, so I went and got my eyes checked this last week, and luckily my eyes they're terrible, but they haven't gotten worse in the last 3 or 4 years. And so I got some contacts for times where I know I'm going to be in an environment where I have to wear a mask for long periods of time, for laser stuff. And For anyone that doesn't know, I'm actually getting married in April, and so we're gonna be doing a bunch of photos, and I figured for photos it'd be kind of nice to have contacts for that. But yeah, that's the reason why. I don't plan on wearing contacts all the time. Today I specifically put them in for the ability to wear the laser glasses, because they don't typically fit over my kind of boxy glasses. But yeah, my eyes have not gotten better, Eggy, since we've talked. Okay, the only thing I want to confirm with assembly is screw size. So, yeah, it's just a really terrible. Okay, so it looks like, okay, so longer screws are going directly into the extrusion. So we can do that. You grab the right screwdriver. Cool. I'm still confused with Discord, lack of order, but I'm old, so yeah. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, some of the wait, where there's a ground wire right here, and I want to make sure I install it correctly. Do they show the ground wire at any point? They do. Okay, cool. So I don't need to worry about it for this first one. Yeah, so there's a lot of people in the Modbot Army Discord that know way more about Discord than me. Like, I hadn't really used any of the bots or things like that before. Okay, so long screws go from the face, like, into the inside of the extrusion. So I've had to learn quite a bit about Discord as well. I've been on Discord for a long time, but it was typically like, you know, my group of 4 or 5 buddies that were playing video games, just using it as a general chat room. But the idea of like a Discord community, this has been completely new to me. It's been a ton of fun. I think it's been a huge success, but I'm sure there's room for improvements and things I could be doing that I'm not doing. I don't really want to tighten anything fully yet until I have it all. So I'm going to screw that in loosely. And then on this side, there's a grounding wire. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let's actually go side cam. And then, sorry guys. This grounding wire goes on the outside of this frame right here. And then we're taking the shorter screw. Luckily, there's only really like short and long screw. So there's not a bunch of different screws that you need to worry about. This one I'm cool with fully tightening because it doesn't actually no, we're gonna leave everything semi-loose and we'll tighten it once we get everything in. Let's see, what did I miss? Looks like your sock design has changed since I first ordered. I like it. Eggies are in context. Oven, Darth's head shifted again. Darth's head shifted again. Are you printing out Darth Vader on one of your printers, Lisa? DC, Erin is feeling better. She's actually at work right now. Thank you for asking. Yeah, last week, or maybe it was last week or the week before, she just was feeling like crud. I thought I was sort of bracing for impact because I think I mentioned it last week, but generally speaking, my immune system seems to be better than hers, and so usually the way it works is like she'll catch whatever, you know, over the years, and then, you know, a few days later, I'll get some form of whatever she has. Usually not as intense, just again, good, I don't know, genes or whatever it is, but I've kind of always had a pretty good immune system. But yeah, she is feeling better. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm happy she's feeling better. It was definitely a kind of rough week last week all around. Okay, printing saber handles now. I'm not fond of the Neptune. It's killing belts. It's so weird. I just wonder if like yours happens to be a lemon or what the deal is. I made my own spool holder for giant Zaltech 5 kilogram spools and uses rollers. Nice. Yeah, the rollers. Yeah, so I use I kind of use whatever, but I made some of these. They're like the standard tush. I think they're called the tush or tush, and these work great. And so yeah, with this too, I don't have any issue with cardboard spools. I will say though, like some of Protopasta's cardboard spools, if they get delivered and they've been pushed on, like this is, for example, a Protopasta spool, I have had some issue where as it's rolling, like occasionally it's fallen off the spool. Not very often, but when it does, it gives me a small heart attack. So that's the only bummer, I guess, with some of the cardboard spools. If they're not, let's go overhead again. If they are not real solid or perfectly round, then you can have that happen. Oh, I did want to mention too that I actually ended up removing last week's stream, and the main reason for that was, one, again, the stream cut out, which wasn't that big of a deal, but I had somebody comment on it that was like looking at that stream for help with installing OctoKlipper, and we didn't really get anywhere. And so they reached out after and were like, hey, like, you know, this doesn't really help. Like, so I kind of decided then it didn't make sense to keep it up because I didn't want people coming to it looking for help, digging through an hour-and-a-half live stream and not getting any answers. So if anyone's wondering, that is the reason I decided to remove it. Otherwise, I would have kept it up if there were things that I felt were valuable in that stream, but it's kind of a mess all around. Okay, so I'm assuming that the only things I really need to do is do the exact same thing to the other side now. Let's see. Yes. Wait. At what point does the x-axis go on? Oh, yeah, no, we're fine. Cool. Okay, so let's spin. Let's do a spin of this. And then put this side on, which looks like it's gonna go like this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy I finally got that bot set up. There's some cool things that it can do. I didn't do any of it because I wanted to make sure I got the basics of it working, and that bot that I put in here wasn't gonna be spamming too much. So I think I put on 15-minute intervals, which hopefully isn't too obnoxious. Middle December, oh snap, I missed, I do my best to catch most of chat, especially now while the streams aren't too crazy busy. Middle December ordered mine, so still, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I ordered mine end of November, so I was a few weeks ahead of you, and I think I caught it right before the big surge happened. Does laser smoke affect contacts? I guess it'd be the same as smoke while cooking. Yeah, so that's a great question. I don't actually have the, wait, what am I doing wrong here? I don't actually have the answer to that because I haven't really had contacts with lasers other than, I guess I have a CO2 laser. It's currently in storage, but that one I had set up really, really well where like it's fully enclosed. I had a fume extractor on it, so I never had any issues with it. But yeah, I would imagine just like any smoke that it certainly would bug my eyes. Like when my family used to go camping a fair amount, like, you know, the campfire would definitely irritate my eyes, which, I mean, I guess would irritate anyone's eyes, but I feel like the contacts kind of trap, you know, some of the debris or the smoke. So yeah, try to avoid it with or without contacts. About Discord bots, me and Zert have a very good idea. Okay, cool. Shoot me a message, Iggy. Lisa, yeah, you and Zara are scary. The Lego Darth Vader toilet paper holder, the head is problematic. It's shifted about, oh, no. Oh, sorry to hear that. That freaking sucks. That's really far into the print. Hit the like button, don't leave them hanging. Yeah, hit the like button if you guys haven't, please. I am going to be announcing the switchwire build on the main channel, so hopefully that'll bring some more people over here as well. Which nice. Which one did you go with, World? Do you know the model? It's interesting to me, like, diode laser engravers are definitely not a new thing by any means. I mean, I remember seeing these things around. I mean, they've been around forever, but like I remember seeing sort of similar styled ones. But man, I'm just gonna tighten everything. It's not a square. You know, actually, let me try. This board that I use as sort of like a scrap board is incredibly warped. I don't want to tighten the frame on that. Let me at least put it on the tabletop. It's not as, hopefully I didn't need to use these washers. I think I'm gonna use them for the X. It's not as important as something like, you know, a 3D printer where you're trying to square the frame, I wouldn't say. Because these frames, Like, it's just 20/20 extrusion and expanded over this distance. I would argue there's some slop in the center, but I at least want to do my best to try to make it, you know, as flat as possible. If it'll even fit, it's going to be borderline. Ooh, we're like hanging. It's like a perfect fit. I mean, it hangs off the edges, but cool, we'll do this. All right, I'm just going to, can you guys, what do you guys, yeah, your guys' view is probably okay still for this. Sorry, you're gonna see my head. That's weird. These screws are slipping. Huh. Did they not, are they not? I don't know if they're just not machined to spec or what. This is definitely gonna be too big the next size up. Well, I'll do my best to tighten them. I don't think that they're doing that much. I guess that's one thing. Oh, that one went tight. Huh, that's weird. Maybe it is just the screw that's not exactly accurate. Okay, sorry, I'm moving the mic a little bit. Let's see. Cool, sounds good. Yeah, just message me on Discord. I might be heading out after the stream. A couple of my buddies are doing like a hot wings challenge, similar to like hot makes where they have a lineup of different sauces. I can't do it. My stomach is not, I had stomach issues years ago where it was like forming an ulcer, and then they gave me some medicine that's supposed to coat my stomach, and I've been doing my best to, okay, so this is the top side. So I've been doing my best to not piss my stomach off, so I can't actually eat them with them, but I said that I will eat plain wings, I will be there for moral support, and I will hand out milk glasses. So I might be hanging out with them after, but if not, I'm gonna be here working on a project. Okay, so these are where the washers are going on. So it looks like 4 washers. Let's do side cam for you guys to kind of see a little bit closer. So these parts on both sides are where the washers are going to drop onto. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1 for each. Much easier setup on this than a 3D printer, I'll tell you that, especially after the ones we've done. The engravinator that we're going to be doing is going to be a pretty gnarly build, I think. Oh man, Bardicus, Red Bull plus hot wings equals butt death, avoid. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Okay, so I'm just hand tightening this little nut top. Yeah, I already had, I mean, no, that's not true. I had a little bowl of food earlier, but even with a coffee and Red Bull, I'm sure my stomach's gonna be pissed later. I was just tired. These last 4 days, I've been kind of sleeping in and staying up late. And then today, I set my alarm for 7:30, which is early for me. And so I needed a little extra kick. Okay, before I tighten these, let me see if they do anything unique. They are threading on the 4 nuts and they are tightening. So oh, we will tighten. They do include a little spanner wrench, which is cool. So I'm gonna like kind of tighten them tight and then go to the other side. Torque these guys in. I did see somebody that posted, I don't want to over torque it, but I do want them tight. I saw somebody that posted that they, I don't know what material they 3D printed, but they used a fiber laser and engraved on it. It was basically like a mod for a GameCube, a Nintendo GameCube, and I don't know if it's square. It looked awesome. Again, I don't know what the material was. It was just a black, I don't know, maybe a PLA or something like that. Oh, the bot's there. Okay, so I'm going to copy what they say to a notepad really quick here. Excuse me. I'm curious if there's a pattern to what they're posting, because it's kind of like the same sort of thing. So if I can find words that they use, I'm going to put them into hide user from channel, put in timeout, report. If I can find like some sort of words that they seem to be using, I'm going to put them all in the blacklist. I'll send to the Discord. Red Bull Honda. I miss wings. I can't even. Oh, really? Is it your stomach too, Lisa? Some spicy stuff upsets my stomach, but I found a great sriracha and lime seasoning that doesn't. Ooh. Yeah, I've gotten. I actually feel like my tolerances as I've gotten older for spicy foods have gotten a bit better, which is cool. So I do some spicy, but the idea of like the goal of this challenge to eat like, you know, these sauces until you're basically crying, I have to know my limits, and my limits are that is not a good idea for anybody, let alone mine. Let's see. It is a very strange bot. I don't really understand what it's posting. Camera project / ARM is going good. I haven't announced it yet, so it's a little secretive still, but the biggest thing that was holding me back was that the Prussian went down, and I want to print the full 2.5 kilograms, or 3 kilograms roughly on it, sort of like just to see how well it performs. So now that that's up and running again, I'm hoping that I'll get printing on it soon. But because I'm building the switch wire, I also need to start printing ABS soon. I think I'm gonna try to use the Voron 0.1s for the majority of the parts. So I still might have the, man, I think I goofed. Yeah, I totally goofed. Let me see here. Sorry, let me make sure I'm doing the wiring correct. I don't want to screw it up. Okay, so it looks like it's like kind of blurry, the resolution on the video. Okay, so yeah, I did goof. That sucks. Okay, so on this side, I'm gonna move this camera a little bit so we can kind of see it. Sorry, hopefully nobody gets motion sickness. Yep. Okay, so slowly pivoting. On this one right here, there's actually a grounding wire that I did not see. So we're gonna take that off really quick. All right, lefty loosey. And it looks like they just have the cable routed from this outside, and it goes like that. And then I'll put that nut back on. Now you guys are getting mostly hand shots here. Once I do get this cool arm project thing that I'm doing completed, it should really help with us getting better angles for the stream, so I'm really excited about that. Come on. Am I using, why are you not tightening? Oh, I think I'm going, there we go. Come on, nut. Oh, it wasn't, there we go. It wasn't on the thread correctly. So I'll just hand tighten it most of the way and then use this. Let's not damage the grounding cable. Let's try to keep it kind of inside more. Okay, that should be plenty good. Sweating. Not gonna lie, I did giggle. Dodo. Had a bariatric surgery and certain foods I can't eat deep fried. Oh man, sorry to hear that. That sucks. I mean, I guess, I'm sure, I don't know how long ago it was. I'm sure as time goes on, it gets a little bit easier because, like, I know a lot of people that have gone from eating everything to, like, vegan or something like that. In the beginning, they're like, oh, it was so tough. I really missed eating all these foods. And then when I ask them now, they're like, yeah, I don't even really remember what it tastes like. It's a virus. Just Googled it. Awesome. I love a good sweat when eating. The ghost pepper stuff goes so far for me too. I actually enjoy tasting my food. Yeah, Erin's much more citrusy and spicy than I am. I've got a sweet tooth. I do like a good spice though, but she's definitely more like, she'll make this cucumber mix with like tapatio and a bunch of limes and lemons and sriracha, and she eats it over there and like I'll have a bite of it. I'm just like, it's like a punch to the head, like the flavor when it hits you. Let's go to, one second here. Let's see. Holy crap, I'm so excited for the Switchfire. Yeah, Switchfire is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm so happy you're doing the Switchfire. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that, Lisa. That's why I was like, I really want to do it as well. So it should be really cool. Wouldn't all parts for the Switchfire fit on? I think they do. It's my understanding that they do. I think that the only exception to that rule is some of the cosmetic parts. Like, I don't know that all the skirts and things like that fit. I know all the functional parts definitely do. I'm gonna take a shower and be right back. I wanna watch more about school tomorrow, so I won't stay longer than 30 minutes. Okay, no worries, sounds good. I'm strongly considering making my Seer 10 into a Switchfire. Yeah, that conversion process looks sick. The perfect camera mount and articulating robot arm. Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. All right, so let's see. I'm seeing they are screwing that on. Okay, what do I do with these wires? Okay, I did a good job. It says to pivot this towards the inside, which I can't tie anymore because it's already clamped, but that should be fine. And now it is saying to zip tie. Okay. Okay, so the holes that I thought were for, okay, I got this. So the holes that are right here I actually thought were for like if you want to add an end stop, but they're actually just to zip tie the cables in place. So we'll do this really quickly. Let's see. Yeah. I almost feel like, yeah, that should be fine. That should be okay. Come on, zip tie. That should be, there we go. Sounds like it's torquing. There we go. Shouldn't need to be overly tight, but I also don't want the wire to be able to pull out. Ideally, I think that the ground wire should have been even further into the motor, but yeah, I'm gonna do that really quick just to do things correctly. So we're loosening this one last time, just by a hair. Oh, shit. It is not lefty loosing on me. Wait, it's because I'm goofing. That I was not loosening it. Awesome. Okay, so let's push the ground wire all the way inside so that way it's more protected. Use my thumb to hold it in place. Great, it still wants to move a little. Yeah, it's moving. It's totally moving. All right, we're gonna leave it. It's fine. All right, let's plug in the stepper motor. That is tight. It still seems okay. And then let's cut. Let's see, I don't know where my, oh, flush cutters. So we will cut you, and we will cut you. Let's see. You definitely got the right woman. Yeah, she is awesome. She eats spicy food and she puts up with my 3D printing. I get the occasional eye roll, but other than that, she is incredibly supportive. Yeah, so if you're going to pick one up inappropriate, definitely use the discounts because there is a coupon. I don't know, I think you're in the States. Yeah, you're local, I believe-ish. There's a 15% coupon on the page already, and it seems like, from my understanding, the 35% discount, they gave me stacks, so it's half off. So if you are gonna get it, definitely get the half off. You know, it's also good. I don't know how long the 15% on their product page is good for, but they told me that 35% off coupon code is good through the end of January. I just checked the replacement belt from Elegoo. Is sending, won't be here for another 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Yeah, belt's so cheap though. Like, that's one of the things I'd always recommend, just having a roll spare have. We're a new straight woman. Look how many printers. Yeah, Lisa. Exactly. Okay, so next we need to install this cable. Let me quickly change to overhead so that way I can move this camera without making you guys have to see all that. Okay. So for this one, thought this was going to be much quicker. I mean, it's not taking that long. It's taking a little bit longer than I anticipated. Okay, so that cable gets plugged in. Then we go zip tie, zip tie, zip tie. A lot of zip ties on this one, more than the other one. I don't hate it though. Like, although I don't think zip ties are like the cleanest looking thing ever, it does have more cable organization. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. So this gets plugged in on this end. The side with the grounding pin goes towards the laser. So this goes like that. And then this, we need more zip ties. So top down. They pull theirs towards the top, so we will do the same. I guess it doesn't need to be super tight because this is just for trying to keep the cables out of the motion path. Then this one also goes like that, top down, and the third one doesn't go top down. It goes left to right. That's pretty much how they have theirs. I think it would look nice. Yeah, they kind of stick out a little bit, but whatever. It's still okay. And then this one, they have going left to right, or right to left. And then the cable goes upwards. They also don't over tighten this one. So for this one, instead of going top down, it goes like this. Oops. Nope, not like that. It goes through this piece. So that way you have the cables going upward towards where the head of the laser is going to be. And Oh, come on. This one they also don't tighten as hard. So like, let me double check what they tighten it at. Yeah, it looks about right. Maybe like a hair. No, that's probably plenty. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Hey, what's up, Maker? I guess Maker Viking, because there's more than one Maker. Inappropriate Makers, a couple people up with you. Yeah, even in their video, they have black zip ties, so it's weird that they're not black zip ties. Maybe they're trying to... I guess with this it makes sense because it kind of blends with the color, but for this one it stands out. I don't know. But yeah, their video also, they have black zip ties. Maybe they ran out. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool 3D printing. Like most of these are adjusted with a like kind of a crappy little screw. And if you add the lead screw to the Z-axis, you can easily just turn that and make it better. So like I definitely will probably, those are not, I'm sure at some point I will make a mod for it that makes it easier. That is what I'm trying to say. I saw you made a pretty cool CAD file for the, I think it was Ender 3, right? Relocation of the main board. Okay, so now they flip over the laser. Yeah, Viking is definitely, you are the only Viking that I know. So that is definitely, I think, a better one to go by, so that way I'm not confusing anybody. Okay, so they have this turned. Nope, they have a motor towards them, the control board side. Let's see, I'm gonna go downwards so you guys can see this. Is it not auto-focusing? Do I not have it on? Oh my God, I have it on manual focus. No wonder it's being silly. There we go. I don't know how that happened. I'm still learning this camera. Okay, so I'm assuming this side is just, oops, just to plug in. Oh no, they want you to do more zip ties. All right. Zip tie a clock over here, I guess. I've got some bits to print for my laser. Yeah, I've seen some really cool ones. I've seen both risers, like risers for the feet. I've seen air assists related things. I've seen, again, the adjustable Z-axis, because, I mean, it works. Like, I mean, for most people, it's probably fine, the kind of cruddy manual thumb screw thing that they have, but they don't seem to really hold that well. So I think for the sake of like precision and just cleaning, what did I do here? Like they're just, I think it would be much better to have a lead screw that goes down the whole Z and then allows you to adjust like that. All right, that seems, let's see if there's anything else. Well, we're over halfway through the setup, so we're definitely making some progress here. And this guy's struggling also to put the zip ties through in their guide. Cool, cut the zip ties, let's do that. Let's see. Just working on my Patreon project. Oh, is that what you're talking? Is that what you're talking about, Viking? The Ender 3 relocation of the PCB or the controller to the back of it. I think the photo I saw you post was like the render of it. It looked really, really nice. All right, plug in cable. I don't know that, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that this is the type of thing where if you just sort of winged it, you could fairly easily assemble this. The only thing you really want to make sure is that you have everything grounded correctly, but other than that, so this plug goes through here, and then it goes into here. Bam. All right. What's next? Option 1. Okay, ours has, so let's look at this really quick. This is the, this is the particular laser. Nope, this way. So as I said, it is the 5.5 watt short focus, and they've got different types of these attachments. One of them uses 2 screws and like a hinge. This one's magnets. I kind of think I really like the magnets more so than the hinge that was on the other machine that I have, but they essentially do the same thing. I mean, their goal is to block your, your view of the actual laser itself. But yeah, it looks like there's a couple different types, because in their video they're showing, I could show you guys actually, let's go desktop. They're actually showing the screw type I'm talking about, or the hinge type. It works fine, it's what the other one I have has, but I do think this magnet one is kind of cool. I think we're done. Oh, no, we're not done with the assembly because we have to, hold on, let's just keep watching real quick. I can't complain, lots of projects. DC is a busy guy. Yeah, it has expanded a bit since I started on it, thank you. Nice. Yeah, it looks good, man. How are things progressing with the Core XY you're working on? That's a crazy looking. I think that's the one that has the built-in air assist. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, but maybe I'm wrong. Short focus work better than long focus. Nice. Yeah, the long focus, according to their website, has a larger laser dot, or like the diameter of the laser itself, so it wouldn't be quite as clean for engravings. It's pretty minimal. Cool, okay, that's the one I have. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to, we'll do side cam. It seems like the long focus one is better for cutting, but again, I think that generally speaking, if you want to cut a lot of things, you should probably invest in a CO2 laser. They're just so much better at cutting. And if you're cool with modding stuff, I mean, I have the K40, which is kind of like the Ender 3, I guess, of the laser world. It's pretty inexpensive, like $400, but it's not great, has some safety issues. You want to make sure it's grounded properly, and I probably spent a few $100s upgrading it, but it's pretty solid now. I just wish I could use it. It's at my parents' house, so. Okay, so let's pop off this, this guy, and then there is one, it looks like there is one hole. It's kind of at a weird angle. Okay, yeah, so there's basically a little, the screw goes in here, and that's what you're going to use to tighten this. So we're going to just slot it on to this dovetail. We'll just put it kind of somewhere random for now and then tighten it in. And that is fine. And then we need to install the cable to it. We'll put this, I guess, onto for now. Nope. Cool, like that. Hopefully that doesn't come off. They seem strong enough. You might want to look into the K40, Lisa. I mean, you're definitely no stranger to modding things. Let me see here. Okay, so plug goes in. I have a video on it. I don't think I have a video showing like step-by-step on any of the mods that I did, but going over like some of the mods where I basically did a board swap and installed a smoothie, a board that was running SmoothieWare, so that way I could use it with Lightburn, and then I installed a cheap air assist. Yeah, it wasn't very expensive. I mean, like, I think all in all, is this a Phillips? Nope. I think all in all, I'm probably into it about $700-ish, but even at like the $400 price point roughly that they go for, if you at least do the grounding of it properly, which I basically just made sure, like took the grounding, and I sanded the paint on the case just to make sure that it was actually grounded and not being blocked by the paint. It's, oh wait, did the video cut short? Okay, well that's the last step. You can still do some cool stuff with it and then kind of upgrade it as you want to. But yeah, once you go north of the K40, then the cheapest I think you can find is well over $1,000. Like the next size up is something like 1,500. And then it can really scale up from there. But yeah, the K40 itself, I think, well, this was prior to the virus. And since then, I wouldn't be surprised if the cost of them has also gone up, like, you know, every other thing pretty much. Okay, so trying to make sure that this is underneath the screw completely. It's kind of a shitty, I don't necessarily love this grounding screw. Because it goes into the injection molded plastic instead of being flush, it doesn't really want to. Okay, I have an idea. I think that if I wish you guys could see this a little better. Let me move you guys one more time. This is where that arm would come in really handy. Great, I can't even move you guys that far. That is a terrible sound. Okay. Are you guys too close for it to focus? Is that what's happening? Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening. Okay, let me just try to do this. But basically, because the screw goes into the plastic, I think I need to get it out further, so that way I can get this to kind of go across the hole completely. I don't love this. Okay, maybe if I go... Well, that might be as good as we can get it. It's at least a little bit better. But yeah, once I tighten it, it's not gonna want to grab onto this. Well, it smashed it, so I mean, that's probably as good as I can get it. But yeah, I think that it would make way more sense to replace this screw with, or add a washer to it, to make it where it just does a better job there. But I don't, that's probably the only thing I have to say right now that I'm not a fan of, is that grounding screw. Other than that, everything seems relatively fine. Okay. Let's go to front cam for a second here. Okay, so this should be good to go. Let's throw this scrap. Let's throw this. We'll do this side. Trying to not burn this. Sorry, I keep messing with the mics. Okay. Ta-da! It's built. So next is to power it on, I think. Let me see. Is there any documentation on... Hey, what's up, Pietro? Yeah, it's a fork and not a circle connector. A circle connector actually would have been a great option there, because then I could have backed the screw out completely and just gone downward, but I'm sure it's fine. It's just, I mean, really, if they had just made it where the screws didn't go all the way into the plastic, it would have been better. Or a round connector, or having some sort of a washer. But as long as it's grounded, it's fine. It just doesn't look like, it's a small detail, but if we're nitpicking, I don't love that. All right, so we have the short focus. Let's see what it says here. The Camground Z1 is a, Jesus. Is it actually a 10-watt laser head? Because I know that I've seen people talking about, some of the manufacturers are advertising the wattage, but it's actually the input wattage and not the output wattage. So do you know if it's actually a 10-watt laser, or is it 10-watt output? That would probably be the highest wattage I've seen for a diode laser. Yeah, it was pretty simple, Eggy. I think that honestly following the instructions is what really slowed me down. There's only long bolt, long bolt, long bolt, long bolt, short bolt, short bolt, short bolt, short bolt, short bolt, 2 washers, 2 nuts, and the head. So it's really not that bad. Most of it was just like zip tying things and all that. Okay, so how to remove and laser, yada yada. Use the focal gauge to adjust. Okay, so there is a focal gauge, which is this piece of acrylic. When laser shield, wait, what does it say? When the laser shield, the laser module, the focal gauge board, laser object, grass. Use the aluminum plate to adjust focus for the depth. After focusing, put the laser shield, okay. Well, so the easiest way to focus seems like just to use this guy. It'd be nice if they told you exactly what the... It's interesting. So the other one, this is a much shorter focal length than on the longer, no, what am I saying? You got me saying longer, Carl. The LaserMaster Pro 2 from Ortur, that one has an aluminum, I don't know what I call it, a little aluminum block that you use, and it's like probably, I don't know how long it is, but it's way longer than this. This is a really short distance, so okay, let's do a few things here. See, I know it can force it here, getting my feet wet with a diode, second line light burn. Yeah, I mean, as long as you learn the software, I mean, the diode versus CO2, I think the primary differences you're gonna be having is your speeds and power output obviously will be very different, and then you'll have things like air assist if you don't add it to your diode. But I do think that this is still a really cool way to kind of get your feet wet, and I have seen people using these to like make side money doing custom engravings and stuff like that. So they're definitely capable little machines. Damn, 10-watt output. I'll have to look at that. That's insane. I mean, for right now, what I'm doing, it's completely unnecessary. How much is it, out of curiosity? Because this head alone, I think, is 150 to 200 bucks. So I'm just wondering, like, at a 10 watt, is it like a $300 or $400 head? Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in the machine. All right, let's see. Power cable is in. I'm also going to manually jog it to this corner because typically, typically with machines that don't have end stops, where they turn on is their origin. So, wait, does it not go further? Nope, that is its home position. All right, let's unplug this. Plug in the laser. And then let's plug in the USB. Okay, so the head's 400 bucks. Do they sell a full machine with it, or is it just the head that they're selling as like an upgrade to their unit? If they sell a full machine with it, what does it cost for everything? Like the frame, motion, and the laser head? Is it 6? That's a really powerful diode. I'm curious to see, performance-wise, what it's able to do. Okay, so we are going to plug in the engraver. All right, so actually let's actually adjust the focus on it really quick here. Let's go side. All right, can you guys see this? Yeah. All right, so let's just grab, what do I've got here? I think I have, let me move this cart really quick. Whoop. I think on the other side here I've got some thin wood. I do. That's nice wood. I don't want to use that. Let's use this. This is balsa wood, which is pretty inexpensive thin wood, which it should be able to actually cut, but I don't plan on doing cutting. Okay. So adjusting the height should be super simple. Basically, place this material, drop this on top, loosen screw, drop down, tighten screw, remove, and that should be, that is really low. It's okay though. Okay, so now we will jog this over here with our hands, and we will power it on, which I think on their machines is, yeah, hold it for 5 seconds. Let's see, let's go move you guys again. Maybe that is as focused as I can get it. Okay, so we will hold it on. Okay, there's a red power light that is flashing and a blue light. The red flashing light is concerning to me, makes me think it's throwing an error code. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into Lightburn really quick here. $400 for the full machine? Interesting. Is the footprint similar to one of these machines? Oops. Okay, so let's go ahead and... That scared the crap out of me. And the reason why that happened was it thought that it was a different laser that has homing switches. Okay. So we need to not do that. It scared the crap out of me. Yeah, it thought that it was the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro, which has homing switches, so it was trying to home. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and screen share really quickly here, desktop. Let's try it again. I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so it's trying to home. Why is it trying to home? It must be because... I'm gonna really quickly delete this. Remove that profile, okay. Close out of Lightburn. It's definitely, it is Lightburn that's triggering the homing, but it's gotta be because it's thinking it's the other machine. Okay, let's see if I do it now. Cool, now it's not doing it. Okay. So yeah, it was because I had the other machine and for some reason it was auto-grabbing that profile. All right, so now that we have it plugged in, we should be able to go find my laser next. Cool, this is it, 390 by 390 gerbil, firmware, G-code machine, serial connection, cool. We will name this the, how do you spell it, A-U-F-E-R-O, Aufero, yeah, laser 2. Okay, that should be fine. We want the homing, or the origin is the front left, but this is what was triggering the issue, was that the other machine does have end stops, this one does not. So we need that unchecked. Otherwise it's gonna try to home to a home that doesn't exist. Okay, so now I should be able to, let's do a couple things here. I want to switch the cam up so that way you guys can see the laser kind of what it's doing while I'm doing things in Lightburn. Okay, so let's do something here. Mobile cam, side cam, bam. Okay, that works. So now I should be able to move, it's an absolute coordinates, which is fine, and then I should be able to just jog. G-code locked out during, okay, so there is an alarm. Producer Ortur Aufero. Why is there an alarm state? Waiting for connection, target buffer size found. That's why the power is flashing. Huh. All right. I don't think there's any kill switch on here that could be triggering it. Instastops are plugged, or not instastops, but motors are all plugged in. Let's see. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Thomas. Next week we are going to be unboxing the Ender 3 S1, so if you're able to make that, it should be a fun stream. Okay, so I'm going to quickly pull this up. I'm going to move it over here and type in error 9. Laser needs to scroll up with the console and verify what triggers. Ons are alarm 2. Once an alarm state, it needs to be power cycled. Right click on the device. All right. Waiting for connection. Target buffer size found. Started streaming error 9. G-code motion. I don't see an error. Alarm 0, max position. Let's see. I wonder what's causing it. Let's see. Blinking red. It's gotta be something stupid. Error message on Ortur, 15 watt. Ortur laser will fire. Ortur question. Let me see if. Nope. Nope. Okay, so we have that, we have that, we have that. That was fine. Assembly we did. That's fine. Tutorial files, firmware updates. Drivers, firmware supports. No. it's not. I don't see any. That's fine. I don't see any. When to not upgrade or reinstall, not yet contacted to resolve an issue. When to upgrade, advised to do so, new version of firmware is posted. Okay, so the latest version that they have is 1.87. What are we on? Oh, is it because I have two? Interesting. What version are we on? 6, 1.2. I don't think we're on the latest firmware. Updating procedure. Unzip the download file or unpacker. Enable firmware mode on your Afero. Does it even have homing pointings? You mean like homing switches? It doesn't have homing switches. It's actually fairly common on a lot of the diode lasers. My other one does. I do like having them. I think that it's better to have than not to have. But no, this one does not. Let's see, okay. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna try to update firmware. Release notes, downloads, download. Okay, connect the Afero via USB, do not use USB hubs, okay. It says to keep it off, so let's turn it off. On the front of the Afero motherboard, press and hold a sequence of buttons. Press and hold the power button for 5 seconds without releasing. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now it is blinking. Let's see. Okay, depending on how accurate the button pressings are, the operation might need to be repeated. It seems like it's correct. Basically, both power and USB are flashing. The press buttons are successful. Device appears, which it does. From the extracted and unzip folder, drag and drop onto the Afero drive and file esp.bin. Alternatively, right-click and press navigate. Okay. So cancel. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. Downloads. Extract all. Extract. Bin file needs to go onto the laser. Bin file is transferring. Alternatively, right click, okay. Note, the file will have the version number that I'm writing. That should be one. Yeah, that was right. Wait a few moments to be sure it's copied. Wait 5 seconds. Oh, it'll power off automatically. It did that. Confirm the power adapter is plugged in and it's receiving mains. Power on by pressing the button for 5 seconds. Okay. Confirm firmware. Well, it's still blinking. There's 2 methods, Eggy. So when you turn on one of these machines, like if you have the head, well, let me switch cam. Nope, that's not it. Overhead. So let's say the machine was off and Well, that is the reason why I don't like the, that is part of the reason why I don't like the single screw for these things. Well, we'll need to adjust the focal length if we can get the laser working correctly. So when you turn on the machine and flip the switch, if you had the head over to this corner, that would be its origin or its 0, 0. So that's what it would consider 0, 0. Normally when there's end stops, it just automatically hits the end stops and knows that like that's the origin. Alternatively, in Lightburn, what you can do is, if you go into the software, there's a couple different modes. So there's absolute coordinates, which basically means like what you see is what you get. So it considers the bottom left the origin, and again, if you turn the machine on and have the head in the bottom left, that would be correct. But you can also choose user origin or current position. For user origin, you basically just, you go under here and you can jog the laser head to where you want it, and then you can click set origin, and that would mark that as the origin. So those are kind of your options. Yeah, I'm a little bit, okay, let's see if the, it's still flashing on my end, so it's definitely not going to work, but let's right click and see. Maybe it was on 186, but we're definitely updated. Wait, waiting for connection. Max position. Let me see here. If I go under devices and I go under here, no, no, that looks right. I don't understand the error code. Alarm 0, max position, BFFSCO, okay. Second one's kind of stupid because you put your origin in the middle, then good luck. Yeah, so you would put the origin like relative, so like for example, like this is the corner, so you have the full length you can work with. If you put the origin, like let's just say for example, right, let's do Eggy, right? Let's say you wanted to engrave that. Well, it's going to start currently at the top right of your material. So you can change that by just adjusting over here, left, like wherever you want it to start, which I guess it doesn't really matter in most circumstances, depending on the shape of your material. So you would just then jog it over to where the job origin is going to be. So if you want to, you can just jog it, set the center of this as your origin, and if it's starting at the center, it'll know that that's the center. So it's not like if you were to set it via user origin, you wouldn't be giving it, like you wouldn't be telling it that it's the corner of your work area, but it's more to decide the corner of your job. So it's a little bit different than, like what you're thinking, but the easiest way to do it, and what I've always done, is just use absolute coordinates, and like Carl's saying, where it kind of starts at the front left and you've got your whole plane to work with. I'm a little bit bummed out though. Let's see. Alarm 0, Aufero. See if they've got anything. I think this is the one I just looked at. Someone else has it is the exact same error I have. I just received this error message. No response yet. I wish I just knew what the error is. Normally the firmware will throw like a pretty obvious thing. So it's connecting, everything's fine. The second I tell it to move, it throws an error, but it's clearly, everything seems grounded fine. Let me turn everything off and just really quickly make sure that, oops, that's not what I want to unplug. That's what I want to plug. Let me just go back to overhead really quick here. I'm gonna really quickly tighten down some of these things to just see if there's some sort of an issue with grounding. Cause it's throwing an error, like, I wonder if it's this guy. Yeah, everything else seems fine. Oh wow, this must be what the issue is. I don't think that this laser, okay, let me see if I go from a different angle. It didn't feel like it had a good connection. I wonder if that was throwing the error. I think if I put the grounding wire at more of an angle, it'll help pull that cable forward. I still don't like the way the grounding is on this at all. Let's see. I'm not convinced that that's gonna fix it, but. Smoked. I think the board just took a dump. Yeah, it did. Well, that was well, I don't know if it was anticlimactic or not. Yeah, I think the board just took a dump. Well, we might not be doing a whole lot. You know what? I think I'm gonna end up grabbing the other laser engraver. I think this is the issue on top here. Yeah, I think the board just took a dump. I don't know if it was faulty all along and that's what the issue was, but when I plugged it in right now, it definitely had a little bit of smoke that came out of it. Something tells me it's related to what's going on the actual laser head itself. Yeah, everything seems grounded nicely. Ugh. Yeah, that board is dead. I don't know if there's a fuse on it that maybe popped, but we'll do a quick look at the board. That's a bummer. I'm definitely going to reach out to them and let them know, hey, we tried building it on stream and the board smoked. Definitely not a very good first impression of QC on this thing. I just wonder what caused it. Yeah, it does smell like the magic smoke, which is not a terrible smell, but never a good thing. What is the easiest way to get this board out? Man, that's a It's a bummer. Last week's stream was pretty rough, and this week's stream has been pretty rough. I doubt there's a fuse. I have a feeling that the board is smoke. Sorry about the mic. Yeah, there's no fuse. Can I see where the smoke came from? I don't see any damaged capacitors. I don't see anything obvious. That freaking blows. Well, RIP for now, I guess. Yeah, I'll throw everything in a bag. I'm sure they'll send out a new board and so we can get it up and running, but it's definitely hard to, I mean, you got smoke from the laser, right? Definitely hard to recommend based off of the initial impressions. I mean, everything seemed solid on it, but again, the board was throwing an error from the first time we plugged it in with not a real direction of what the error was, and then reseated, you know, confirmed that the grounding wires were as tight as we can get them, and then a little bit of smoke came out of it. I originally actually thought it was just from the port itself. Like the other laser I have, when I plug in the power cable, it does have like a brief little spark, but it's not damaging to the actual machine itself, but it's not the case. All right, let's go ahead and switch to this cam. Move this off, out of the way. Dude, it's Aufero Laser 2's life was a short one. What a freaking bummer. Yeah, I think we'll end up doing a we'll have to do. Wait, what happened? What happened to you, tripods, with your lasers? Yeah, if you guys, we'll probably end up doing a follow-up to that. I'm sure, again, they'll send out a board. It maybe was just a faulty board from the factory. I don't know. But at least I can show them the error that it initially had, which was, it said basically error 0. But the second it turned on, it was in a, the second it turned on, the power light was flashing, which makes me think that there was definitely some kind of short. And I won't fully rule out that it couldn't have been something that I did as far as the grounding goes. But both of the grounding portions that were on the actual frame itself were definitely solid. The only one questionable to me was the one that I pointed out on top of the laser head, which was just jank. Like, look at, so let me get this in position, I'll show you guys. The grounding on this machine, which is a lot more expensive, at least with the sale on the other machine right now, is way better. Okay, let's see. Man, that sucks. I was like, I was really excited to use that. I've had it for a little bit now. Well, okay, so that's fine. And then we will plug this in here. All right, so yeah, the grounding on this guy, See how close I can get you guys to it. I don't know how well you can actually see it, but yeah, you can see it. So it uses the same kind of connector, but the difference with this one and the other unit is the screws are sunk into the injection molded plastic, so it doesn't bite down onto this very well. While on this one, the screws are above it, which is what I mentioned, that either they need to have a washer on that one, or the screw should be above the plastic. So I think that it's a small thing, but if there was an error on my end, I would say it would have been the actual dial laser itself, the screw that they have on top of it. But I don't know. I'll reach out to them, see what they say. They've been pretty quick to respond prior to this incident, so hopefully they will be quick to resolve this, and then we can do another stream where hopefully the only smoke is good smoke. So glass is on. Let me see, what am I missing in chat? I thought it was a straight smoke. This might have been one of well, I gotta go now myself. Need to sleep tomorrow. I have school and have fun doing the rest, and see you next week. Have a nice day. Okay, Eggy. Good luck with school, man. Have a great night. That's right. Your CR6SE, didn't it shit, like it destroyed your Raspberry Pi as well, right? And damaged itself. However, my new fiber laser just, no. Wait. Seems that it has a live 5-volt USB to the board along with external power, which burned out the voltage regulator. Lots of smoke. So it was a design. So it's a design issue. It sounds like then, right? In their actual laser. That sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that. I haven't seen the tweet. The last tweet I saw was that thing was doing super cool stuff. Okay, so power this one on. Hopefully there's no smoke now. Okay, so it's got end stops. It'll home. We do need to make some adjustments in Lightburn though. So let me really quickly do, let's do desktop. Let's do devices, find my laser. Huh. I wonder if it's because it thinks that it's this. It does think that it's that. But it's not. I'm going to remove this for now. Devices, find my laser, next. There we go. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. Let's see, it looks like definitely a design issue. I haven't posted anything yet. I'm in communication with the manufacturer. Yeah, I hope that, God, I wonder how many units they've shipped like that, and I wonder if they can just swap out the board. How have you opened it up? Like, how difficult is it to get inside? Is it realistic if they do just create a board replacement, and they can just send it to the backers? I think we'll just do like a simple modbot robot engraving or something like that. I'm definitely a little bit saddened by, let me see, let's go unbox, or nope, let's go overhead. Definitely bummed out by that, especially because the assembly was going so well. Let me see here, where do I have the modbot, the logo? Yeah, at least somehow. A simple USB 5-volt eliminator adapter would be an easy fix. Yeah, I hope they make it right. I did post Twitter about us customers being tech support. Yeah, that's bullshit. I know that I looked at the product once you were talking about it, and it's definitely, I mean, regardless of the price point, it sucks, but that is an expensive product. It's not acceptable. I definitely hope that they at least make it right, you know. If they're trying to be a long-term company, then not just a kind of, you know, one hit and then run away, then they definitely are going to need to, wait, why did it reset? Oh shit, my foot hit the USB port. Then they're definitely going to have to make it right. Okay, let's go ahead. I think I downloaded, wait, what the heck? Save. Desktop. Man, 2 weeks of stream, like, issues on stream. I'm hoping the Ender 3 S1 goes smoothly. All right, let's go ahead. I'm not gonna do a raster engraving because I just don't want to. It'll be a pretty long engraving if I do, and it'll generate a lot of smoke, especially on wood. It was one thing when we did the tile, so let's see if we can do tools, image trace. Nice. Oh. Trace image. That looks pretty damn good. It's kind of got a double effect. Let's see. Oops. I'm used to using the Mac. Actually, I think I like it like that. Let's go layers. I don't want to fill. Although, yeah, no, I don't want to fill right now. Let's just do line, preview. It's also freaking huge. Let's scale it down. And then let's go. Let's see. I want. Isn't. I did look at the board. I did look at the board. We'll send a pic on Twitter. It isn't a complicated swamp, just a lot of hot glue on one side. Okay, I'll check. Let me pull up my Twitter on the other screen really quickly here. Oh, come on. Oh man, yeah, that thing is toasted. Jeez. Yeah, it's BS, man. I hope that they just send out a board ASAP and replace everybody's boards. Which laser? Because this, first off, hi Pyro. How's it going, buddy? Second off, which laser? Because the stream is on the Aufero Laser 2, while this is actually the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro. We built the Aufero. I can't even see what is being displayed right now on stream. Okay, so let's go unbox. So the laser that we built today is this guy. This is the Aufero Laser 2. I plugged it in, and it was blinking, throwing an error. I did a quick Google search. I tried updating the firmware to make sure there wasn't just some kind of firmware patch. That was fine, the update. It didn't do anything. And then it was still blinking. I couldn't find an exact solution to the errors. So because it was erroring out the second it was plugged in and power on, it seemed to me like it was maybe a grounding issue. So I checked all the grounding wires, plugged it back in, and then a little bit of magic smoke came out of this. It still smells like the magic smoke. Luckily I haven't had to smell it in a while. So yeah, the board's dead. So is it this one that you're building, or is it this one that you're building? The LaserMaster 2 Pro has been absolutely awesome to me so far. There's a fire alarm sensor on here that is a little bit sensitive that I did end up just deactivating. I don't use the laser if I'm not around, so I don't need a loud beeping sound that was triggering. But yeah, which one? Afero Laser 2. Okay, so if medium rare PCB, let me know how yours goes, man. Mine when I assembled it, again, it was blinking the power light, and the only thing, so I'm either thinking there's like one of two things. Either one, it was already defective when I got it, something to do with the board, or two, the actual grounding wire for the laser head itself is kind of awkward. It basically has a screw that goes inside of some injection molded plastic instead of being like this one where it's on the surface. So it doesn't bite down onto it nearly as well as I would have liked. So I think either having a round terminal that the screw actually goes through or using a washer would have been much better. I didn't do that. I assembled it exactly how it was. And if there was a thing that I did in the assembly, that would have been the only thing that could have caused that, aside from it just already being defective from factory. I just don't know. Yeah, hopefully, let me know. Do me a favor, because I'm sure the stream won't be going when you're done assembling it. We're going to do a quick engrave, and then I might cut it for the day in a bit here. But let me know on like Twitter or something like that, whether you get it up and running quickly or if you have a similar error. I did see, doing a quick Google search, that somebody in the last 24 hours posted the same error I was seeing with the flashing light, and there was no resolution. So I'm going to reach out to the manufacturer right after and say, hey, we built it live on stream. We connected it to the computer, and it magic smoked. So definitely bummed on that, because the laser itself seems fine, but you know, clearly there's an issue. All right, so let's put glasses on, which is the reason I got my contacts in. So in Lightburn, if I go desktop, I should be able to, under the move screen, no, it's not there. So let's go under device settings, enable laser fire button. Okay. I think we actually need to close out of this. Yes, we can save the project. MB for Modbot. It's my notepad keeping track of what the bots have been posting. Okay, cool. So now if you see here, there's actually a fire button. And so what you can do is, oh, you guys, can you see this? Or is it being exactly blocked? No, you can exactly see it. This fire button right here, so I can set it to like 1%. And if I tell it to fire, it is firing. But the cool thing about that is once you have that, if I go File, Recent Projects, this is the one we just did, and I clicked, if I hold down Shift when I hit frame, it should turn the laser on now so I can see exactly where it's going to engrave. This cable needs some kind of a, it's going to move the piece of material. If I had a permanent setup, I would definitely bolt this machine to a piece of wood and then have it do a grid. I think that's what, I think that is what tripod you have, right? On one of yours, you just made a grid in the actual wood so you can make sure it's aligned. Seems decent. Maybe a hair this way. Okay, and then we also need to, let's just go big cam on side cam. Take my glasses off for a second here. Make sure we are in focus. Everything is now pink. But hey, great discount. Yeah, right? If you, I mean, gosh, I guess if you can board swap it, but no, that's not acceptable at all. I'd be so, I mean, I'm bummed, but you know, again, like this was sent to review. If I had saved up and bought this laser and it arrived and it happened, like, I don't think I'd be bummed. I think I'd be pissed, you know? So no, it's not acceptable at all. I am hoping that it was a freak thing. Freak things do happen, but we'll see how they address it and what their opinion is on it, and kind of how they take feedback. Yeah, the fire button is amazing. If you don't have a camera set up to align things, like it is amazing. What was I gonna do? Okay, yeah, so we are going to quickly adjust the height on this. So we just lift this guy up, drop this guy down, and then loosen these two screws. And then let's do, actually, all right, let's do a few things here. So first I want to hook up this, which is our fume extractor, to see if it can help us get rid of some of the fumes. Let's plug this in. Well, that didn't do it. Oh, there we go. Should help a bit. And let's go under. Take my glasses off so I can see this again. Not really, Pyro. I would definitely say that if you, like, they saw an enclosure for this one. I don't think they saw an enclosure yet for the Aufero, but I would imagine that the similar enclosure will work. It's a pretty expensive enclosure. But no, I would say that this works well enough for me to be able to do some super, super light, quick engraving in here. I tried doing a wood raster engrave, and the freaking living room was filling up with smoke, dude. I opened up all 3 windows and just helped to like vent it out, but it's definitely better than nothing. But yeah, if you're gonna be doing well, someone else had a good idea where it would probably be cool for me to print a bracket that kind of goes on the back side of this, that this can kind of attach to, because since it isn't, you know, since it isn't right on it, and especially if you're doing something big, like, it doesn't have that much suction force. But it's definitely better than nothing. It's absolutely better than nothing. I'll send some links on DM for you for laser files. Cheaper to build your own and have extractor on top. I use mine in a shed and keep the door open when it's going. Yeah, if you've got links to send to Carl, please, I'll take them as well. But yeah, I do think that an enclosure and just like having, you know, having it kick outside is definitely an easier option than trying to vent it. I don't have the option. My neighbor, like, this is a pretty strict HOA, this little condo place we're in for now, and my neighbor upstairs freaks out every time I barbecue, so if there's like actual laser smoke going out the window, there's just no way. I'll have the HOA coming, and, you know, I'd get in trouble with them. So, okay, so we are good on that. I'm trying to think, the only other thing, do I want to, oh, you guys aren't seeing what I'm doing, sorry. I have a huge exhaust fan, you know. Yeah, I was gonna say, you have a ton of laser stuff, or at least play around with a bunch of laser stuff, so yeah, this thing is more cute than anything. It helps me justify using a laser in my living room, but I only do small amounts of it, and it's temporary until we're able to move and get a garage. But yeah, it's definitely like if you wanted a true filter system, you would need to get some like the big expensive BOFAs, and those are, you know, a couple grand. And then also I've heard with those that you still have to replace the at least pre-filter super often. Okay, cuts and layers. Power, that seems way too much. All right, putting glasses on. We're gonna home it first just to make sure it's in the correct spot. I don't know if this is enough power to actually engrave. Kind of lost my settings when I reset the profile, but we'll try to run it. Lights, camera, action. Yeah, that is too fast. Luckily, this is a super quick job, but we either need to slow the speeds way down or bump up the power. I'm just gonna let it finish though. It's already, we're at 50%. Oh wait, I actually can see super light modbot. Okay, so let's do two things here. Let's bump up, go back to desktop so anyone that watches this after can kind of see. Let's go speed 2000 millimeters per minute. And then let's go power, let's do 35. Homing. Stud cam. All right. 1, 2, 3, fire. Still pretty freaking light, but definitely a step in the right direction. Sorry, I missed the question, just was behind. Oh, no worries. Yeah, thankfully I have a workspace now. I can vent outside for the big laser. Something for my resin printers would be nice. Though, like, yeah. I try to use primarily this. Actually, that might not be that light. It might just be that the lines are so thin. I try to use low odor resins, and like my main go-to is the Strytech Fast Line. But regardless, there's still an odor, and it's you know, it's more than just the odor. The odor is just a you know, uncomfortable smell, while the possibilities of it kicking other things into the air that I'm breathing in, you know, long term is not ideal. So that's actually not too bad. Let's do one more run, a little bit more. Let's see, let's do one final run on top of it. We are going to do 1500 speed, and we are going to do, let's do a random 42. All right, 3, 2, 1. Definitely a lot darker. I mean, granted, it's engraving on top of an engraving, so it should be darker even if we ran the same settings in multiple passes, but oh, I definitely see the smoke. Be nice to have something that just kind of holds it right above. Let's use my hand for now, I guess. Yeah, I try not to stay in the shed when using resin, so need to sort it all out before summer. Yeah, I mean, in general, yeah, it's definitely smoking more than it's absorbing. Just wish this had a higher CFM. I think I'll open the side door as soon as this is done. Let it air out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty damn good. It's a detailed engraving. One second, guys. Let me open the side door. We have a pretty sensitive smoke alarm. Let's see. Yeah, I think laser cutting and engraving is absolutely awesome, though. Like, in combination with 3D printing things, like whether it's to customize a 3D printer, like what Etcher 3D is doing with, I'm assuming a fiber laser, or maybe CO2, and anodized aluminum frames, or Fabrico's doing that too with a fiber laser, or customizing acrylic panels for an enclosure, or just, you know, like a little project you're working on. But this machine's pretty rad. I've had this now for 2-ish months, and I do like the Ortur Master a lot. I don't think I've had any issues except the initial fire alarm that triggered a couple times when I was doing engraving on tile. The reflection was just, the reflection was causing it. But granted, again, this is on a, you know, no settings built in. Can I focus on that? I definitely need to still dial in the different settings for various materials, like how fast it needs to go. And I had some settings on here, but because I was playing around with the Afero, I deleted this profile because it was no particular reason. I deleted the profile, which I can restore. But yeah, the detail is pretty rad. If I had a better filter system where I could kick it outside, I've been wanting to engrave the Modbot robot onto the side of the Voron 0.1's acrylic panels, at least the first one that I built. That's like Modbot colored themes, but yeah, it looks pretty sweet. They do a really good job, Pyro. They do a really good job of engraving. I don't have the tile anymore. We gave it as a gift to Aaron's parents, but we did an engraving of our dog wearing a cowboy outfit, or a cowboy hat, and it turned out really, really nicely. Yeah, Make It or Break It has test files that are good for diodes. Also, if you just go under desktop, let me see here. All right, if I go light burn, oops. Speed and power grid. They do also have on the actual Lightburn forum from the staff this, which works similarly, where basically you just, you know, run a grid that has variable speeds and variable powers. And so if you're going to be doing engraving, you can even do one for cutting. You just would want to adjust your range to be more aggressive with the power and slower with the speeds. But this is a really quick way to find like what's, I guess the best, it depends on what you're going for. Like if you want it to be as dark as possible, or if you want it to be a little bit lighter, or if you're planning on running multiple, like maybe a lighter fill and a darker outline, then it's a really cool way to you know, quickly get your settings dialed in. One second, guys. Well, I think we may end the stream soon. I mean, I was originally planning on doing some more stuff with the new laser to kind of like take a look at it, but since it quite literally didn't fire, the only smoke that came out of it today was from, you know, the controller on it frying. I'll send off an email to the manufacturer right after this, just letting them know what happened, and I'll probably link them to the stream and be like, hey, this is what happened. So, and see if they can get me a replacement, or if they have anything that they want me to check. But there's no fuses on the board, so there's nothing I can easily swap. I looked to see if any of the surface mounted components show obvious charring or burning, and I don't see anything, at least not on the top of the board. It's possible on the underside there could be something. But yeah, as of right now, it's just a paperweight, which sucks. I did some engraving on glass, which is great. Oh, that's cool. I haven't done glass at all yet, but I would really like to. Yeah, I've used that grid. DC is heading out. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. I will schedule next week's stream, which will be the Ender 3 S1 unboxing and kind of set up and first print on there. I anticipate that stream will be going a lot better, knock on wood, after last week's internet fiasco slash, you know, OctoKlipper issues, and then this week's dead board. I think we need a win, but it's, you know, it's what happened, so I can't really change that. Hey, the bot's back. Okay. All right, so I want to copy this too, because I'm trying to see if there is a pattern in what they are typing. Let's see. Okay, so this is the exact same thing that the bot earlier typed, and the only difference is in the capitalization. So maybe any variation of vun.rent needs to be blocked. Let's see, I'm going to report. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of the bots. Especially, I think Eggy earlier did a Google search on what that is, and it's apparently a virus. Like, that's what the vun.rent is, so. Let's see how that, oh, the S1 is nice. I used Tempera paint on glass, just washes off the water. Yeah, I really want to do some customization of things. Like, once we move and I have a better setup as far as venting goes, these to me seem like the ultimate gift giving thing. Or again, like if you're looking to make a little bit of side money, like, you know, selling custom things for any kind of event. But I would love to just make all sorts of cool coasters to send to family and friends, and glassware and things like that that are kind of unique, you know. So yeah, thanks to everyone that came and hung out. Again, sorry that we couldn't actually do any engraving on the Aufero. I certainly couldn't have predicted that that was how it was going to go down. I will update you guys next week, as well as in the Discord. You know, I want to hear back from the manufacturer, what they say and what they do, because that'll definitely play a big role in terms of how I feel about the situation, the, you know, post customer support experience. So yeah, next week will be the Ender 3 S1, and then the switch wire, I need to start printing out parts for that. I think that the LDO switchwire kit already shipped, so if I can start printing that, it'll probably be a similar format to the Voron 0.1 build we did, where we'll do one video that'll be just kind of like an unboxing, looking at all the parts that come with the kit, and then we'll try to do like, one stream will be the frame build, one stream will be maybe the motion system, one with toolhead, one with wiring, one with firmware, and then a recap, so like 5 or 6 streams. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna do just a really long, like 8-hour stream, because I feel like the amount of feedback I've gotten on the Voron 0.1 streams, the way we kind of broke it up, was that it was super valuable to people, and like they're still using it as a reference. And I just think it's so much easier to like, okay, cool, I'm having issues with wiring, I'm having issues with the toolhead, to click on that and then skim through an hour, or our streams are longer, 2 hours or 3 hours worth of video footage compared to like a full 8-hour or 10-hour build, whatever it takes. So we'll probably take our time on that, but I am super excited for that build, as well as the Engravinator build, which is somewhere down here, which will be a long one. So we'll get it all figured out. If you have not, please hit the like button. It definitely helps to support the channel and you know, help this channel grow, get more people over here, which is awesome. And yeah, I hope everybody has an awesome week. This Saturday's video is done on the main channel, and I'm working on next week's video, which I am probably about halfway done. So definitely lots of stuff. Let's turn this guy off. Definitely lots of stuff coming, but I hope everyone has a great week. Tripods, good luck with dealing with the manufacturer. Please let us know how it goes. Travis, good luck with the Afero. Please let me know whether yours has issues or if yours just works out of the box. Asker, thanks for hanging out. Lisa, thank you as always for being awesome. And I am keeping my fingers crossed that you're able to get all the parts printed out for the FISEC Bear build you're doing. And yeah, I will see you guys all next week. Have a fantastic week and a great weekend. Bye, everybody.